The dogs being in the yard are also a deterrent, and they slow down a breach. They're going to have to stop and deal with the dogs. Usually they're going to probably shoot them, but that shooting the dog ruins their dynamic breach because they just gave up the surprise, right? Or you have a large ditch that surrounds your perimeter, it's going to stop them from being able to get a vehicle to you, and you're going to have a driveway where they have to use that driveway to get the vehicle in. Well, you place an improvised explosive charge of a very high volume and frequency underneath it. As the vehicle crosses it, you torch it off. What you just did was shot all that energy straight up and into the vehicle. And now you overpressurized that vehicle and killed everything inside of it. Plus, you effectively stopped that vehicle on the only spot that you can cross over with a vehicle. Once they hit the perimeter, they come inside the perimeter. I now shoot through the windows. I hit the tannerite, ignite the tannerite. I just shot nails everywhere. Right? It being in a 5-gallon bucket, it stays down low. That means that it's targeting is their legs. Why? There's no armor down here. Plus, we talked about causing casualties. Well, that's what we want to do, is cause casualties. It creates disorientation. It slows that dynamic breach down. It takes away their stealth. It takes away their surprise. And now it's caused more casualties, and it sucks and draws more manpower. So I'm up here wailing on this door, and I'm like this with my battering ram, and my buddy is standing here like this with the door open. Meanwhile, everybody else is stacked up all the way down the stairs here. I hit that one switch. I took out 3, maybe 4 guys. What did I just do to that entire breach team? I just took their breach and said, F you, get off my porch. Now, be careful. It ain't the Mormons or the Jehovah's Witnesses coming up here going, hey, we'd like to spread the gospel of Christ, and boom, there's your gospel of Christ, and meanwhile, they're laid on the ground. Remember, law enforcement tactics and military tactics both are to secure the perimeter. So you have the breach team, but you have the perimeter team that gets in place first. Now, law enforcement does it a little bit differently than military does. The military uses snipers to do perimeter, and we cover on 2 corners. So this guy who's a sniper can cover down this way and this way. This sniper team can cover this direction and this direction. So you only got 2 actual shooters, but you'll never see them. You'll never know they're there. And if we do not have snipers, we use gun trucks, machine guns. So keep that in mind. If you're shooting and you've repelled the assault and they're retreating, don't chase them out the door just because you've repelled the assault, because what you're going to do is run right into that perimeter team, and they're going to light you up. Be smart. You engage, you stop the threat, you back them off, stand your ground. All right, unless you have an underground tunnel that's enabled you to pop up somewhere way off, you're going to have to stand your ground. It now has become a siege. And even if it doesn't hit them, they're still going to be like, whoa, what the crap just happened? And they're going to start moving around. They're going to want to expose yourself or get the crap out of there. Trust me, these guys are breaching, all of a sudden crap starts blowing up all around them. They're going to get the hell off the scene. They're going to back up, they're going to get as far away from you as they can, and they're going to make this become a siege and try to wait you out. Because they're going to realize they bit off more than they can chew. You got a bunch of tricks up your sleeve, and they're not going to know what they are, and they don't want to find out. They do not want to expend the manpower to find out the hard way. It becomes a siege. Just remember, this, no matter how it ends, will end in a siege. So you got to plan for that siege. That means food storage, ammo storage, etc., etc., but mostly it means working as a community. Now, also, now I've showed you little ways, I've taught you little ways how to take out perimeter guards. I've showed you how to literally stop the breach with a explosive charge. And I've showed you how or I've told you how to slow down and possibly stop their initial approach to your home. Now, if you're in an apartment, that's a little bit more difficult. But also remember, the beautiful thing about an apartment is there's only one door they can come in. When you're making your explosive charge and you're setting up your explosive claymore charge there, defensive charge, you need to camouflage it. You need to make sure that it's not going to be so easily picked out. You can't just leave an obvious, pipe sitting there. It needs to be tannerite sitting inside of a broken down lawnmower or in a 5-gallon bucket kind of sitting out there. But you can't just have a 5-gallon bucket sitting lonely in the yard. There needs to be a lot of junk in the yard if you're going to do that. It needs to be part of your fence. Tannerite is inside the pole on the corner of the fence. So when you shoot that pole, it goes up now, it just blew splinters everywhere. Or whatever it is you're doing. You need to disguise your pyro so that when they're making their approach, they're not going to see it. And remember, there's a small chance, well, I say about a 50-50 chance, that if they're breaching your home, they've already done their reconnaissance on it. Which means they had an expert reconnaissance, somebody like me, sitting there with a set of nods or set of binos, looking day and night, watching what you do, watching which door you go in and out, looking to see if you do or move or anything each time you go in and out the doors, trying to find those booby traps, trying to find that route of travel. How do you go in and out of the house? Where do you park your car? Which cars do you use? What time of the day do you come and go? Are there any kind of delay devices or any kind? I'm literally designing the battle for the breaching team as much as I can. So keep that in mind. Whenever you're setting up your perimeter defensive systems, you need to camouflage well enough that somebody, a reconnaissance personnel, is not going to pick it up. I'm certainly not going to think you stuck 40 pounds of tannerite in a car, which is going to make one heck of a big mess. It may even damage a lot of your house, and I'd probably get down just as soon as I pull the trigger on it, because there's a good chance that door off that car is going to fly right through the house. But you'll have effectively taken out everything in that side of the yard and then some. You're going to ruin that dynamic breach. You're going to destroy all of their little game plan. And for that moment, you're going to work and it's going to go into a siege, which is where we want it to go. We want it to become a siege. It gives you more time to think.